Yo, remember the fire villains from the second wave of Hero Factory? These sets were sick, introducing us to the brand new CCBS building system, and giving us some quite iconic designs. But could these sets have been built better? Today let's take a look at the work of some talented Bionicle builders, and we'll see if these revamps have indeed been built better. Let's take a look. Kicking us off is Kalahiki Mox and his take on Firelord. Mate, it is night and day seeing them side by side like this. He still has the same energy as the original, but now he's looking like a space marine from Warhammer 40k. All of that sweet bulky armor, he looks so good. And I think this look really fits the name of Firelord. This over-the-top armor makes him feel like a dictator, like a seasoned warrior who's faced many battles. And I must say, I do like the hints of trans orange all over the body. You get the sense that the armor is holding back a huge amount of flame and fire. Potentially even his body is just made up of fire. That's kind of cool. There is one teeny tiny detail on the torso. It's this printed 1x1 Ninjago tile. Originally this would have appeared on some of the staffs and some of the snake waves of Ninjago. I like that. This is a nice little bit of decoration on his chain and on his armor. It makes him look just that little bit more fashionable. Sometimes one little printed piece can add quite a lot to a creation. And mate, how about this new sword? I like that it's got two blades making up a larger blade. It's kind of reminiscent of the original weapon. Oh yeah, of course, if you want to know where this blade came from, well, it appeared in a somewhat recent Ninjago Dragon's Rising set. You can see this gold mech here wielding one of those swords. But I don't know, dude, it looks pretty good on this mock. Big old weapon on a big old armored guy, that's nice. This is an excellent reimagining of my boy, Firelord. Now for Jetbug by Frenez J. Look at this refined color scheme. Now sure, I liked the red that we originally had, but stripping that away and changing it up for blue, very nice. Because remember, fire when it's very hot, it turns blue. So hey, this still makes sense, this still works, and it helps differentiate him a little bit more from his friends. That way they're not all sharing essentially the same colors. This little change is a good way to spice things up. And how good is this jetpack as well? Making use of some of the energy effect pieces that appear in some of the Marvel superhero sets. They're good pieces and they look great here. They look especially good on the jetpack. And I also quite like the belly up the front. This layered look, it does fit that bug vibe quite nicely. If you're curious, this piece originally appeared in the set Kitongu. In fact, actually this set comes with quite a large supply of these pieces, but I think they look pretty good here. Yeah, hey, this mock also has some digitigrade legs, a bunch of spikes on like the feet, the legs, everywhere. I think Jetbug has never looked better. Up next we have Nitro Blast by EMS Mox. Again, we have ourselves a really nice tidy up of the colors. Removing that Keat orange in the color scheme, I think it was actually a good call. Sure, it does look nice on that set, but there is something elegant about a more stripped back color scheme. A little bit more uniform. It's clean, it's easy to pass. The design doesn't feel too busy or anything like that. I do adore this flamethrower. Much more of a realistic design with like a barrel and all sorts of wires feeding into it. It's great. I especially love the inclusion of this trans-red connector element. These appeared in some of the old Technic Super Battle Droid sets. Yeah, that translucent color really does make this look like, I don't know, fire is pumping through it and then erupting out of the flamethrower. It's a nice touch. And check out this torso design too, making use of Stringer's shoulder armor for some nice chest armor. These elements, they're meant to be speakers on the original set, but hey, when you put a dish on the front and you slap it on the torso, yeah, it looks pretty good. The one thing I do miss is that trans green eye. It pops so nicely on the face. Now that's not here, but yeah, it makes me think maybe this is like a younger version of Nitro Blast. And perhaps he, got pretty heavily damaged in a fight and he needed some like robotic enhancements and some repair work. And then maybe the final set is how he looked after that battle, and this is how he looked before. That's a fun idea. Could you reimagine a character as they looked when they're younger or when they're older? It could be fun. And finally, we have the mighty Drilldozer. This is by Anderson Builder. There's a lot of justification for making this guy bigger and bulkier. Because his name is Drilldozer. The name evokes things like mining equipment, heavy machinery. So making him hefty, it's a good fit. I also like that the drill concept has been kind of amped up. Instead of just one drill on his hand, now he has a drill on each finger. And then his fingernails? You better believe that they're drills as well. Again, his name is Drilldozer. That name is over the top and silly. So you can afford to make the character, well, yeah, over the top and silly. Also, these repeated drills, they remind me of what I believe is called an oil rig drill. It's one of these that has 3 drills layered into each other for maximum drillage. Well, maybe this is a bit of a stretch, but I can see the similarities. Now actually, while we're down here, take a look at the legs. I'm quite impressed by these red details on the legs. These feel like some sort of stylized version of the fire add-on piece that comes on a lot of these sets. Sometimes actually this piece is used as armor, which kind of doesn't make sense. Is his arm just on fire? So making armor plating that evokes the feeling and the energy of this piece, but it's not fire. That's smart. And I think it just looks good. Anderson Builder has also found a great way of bulking up the face a little bit more. See here, it's using some of these minifigure weapon pieces. They came from some of these System Bionicle playsets. There's a whole variety of them, and each of the minifigures held onto one. It's kind of like a family of pieces. You don't see it much, but I love it when people kind of legally customize a mask. Stretch it a little bit further, add onto it. It always looks good. This piece just seamlessly blends into the rest of the mask. You can barely tell it's there. Oh, but one more detail, the waist. If you look closely, you'll see Wenawa's staff making a nice pattern down here. It is a little bit hard to see, so computer, enhance. Yeah, a little better. You can see the pieces kind of tessellating around one another, and it creates such a nice little pattern. That's clever. So how good were these revamps? It's so nice to see the fire villains getting a little bit of love. They're just kind of a bit underrated sometimes. Now look, if you really liked the mocks you saw in today's episode, be sure to take a look at the links below. There you can find the social media of everyone I spoke about today, and you can check out some of the other great work that they've done. And be sure to have a great day. Thank you for watching, guys. Happy building, and bye for now. Fun fact, the same person that voiced SpongeBob also voiced Jetbug in some of the animated shows.